What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dollars coming to you live from the living room. You already know, with another episode of Make It Make Sense. Here live with Cash and Red joining us. How y'all feeling?
Feeling good.
What's happening? We back. I'm back. I know y'all missed me last week, 2 weeks ago, but Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Let's get it.
You wasn't here for a little for the holiday real quick. So how was your Christmas?
Everything was straight. You know, I'm alive. I'm free. My daughter enjoyed herself. That's all that matters. I'm an adult, so you know, Christmas. You know, I just love the family getting together and all that. But you know, everything else, man, it's for the kids.
Yeah, that's what Jeez was saying. That's what Jeez was saying. How about you, Red?
Everything's good.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, glad. Holidays is over, paying all the bills, you know, from the damage, all the shopping for Christmas, you know.
That's one of the worst parts, when you got to see, God forbid, you bought them gifts on credit and you got to pay that bill.
You got to look at those statements.
See, and that's what I don't like about holidays. You know what I'm saying? They make it seem like, yo, you could do things all year long, know what I mean? But as soon as Christmas time, you don't do something for Christmas, you're the worst person.
Exactly. If you don't come through.
They want you to risk your livelihood in order to give them presents and all that.
For that time. It's like it's not acceptable. Yeah. Like that's the one. It's like you got to do what you got to do. It's Christmas.
But it's like a release that everything is over now. You know, everything's starting to go back to normal.
Yeah, once it's done, it's like a sigh of relief, right?
Yeah, it's a what? You got that weight off your shoulder. You're like, yes, let's get back to regular scheduled program.
It's like a freaking burden. Totally changes as you get older, right? Like when you're younger, how you used to look forward to the holidays and this time of year.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. Now I could sleep to 2 p.m. on Christmas Day.
and just enjoy it. Word. Real quick before we move on, was you a Christmas Day gift opener or Christmas Eve?
Man, they used to let me open up one gift
on the eve and then the rest in the morning.
Not even like at 12 type shit.
One at 12, that's the eve, and then the rest on Christmas Day in the morning.
And then the rest in the morning, you feel me?
Red,
you? I would get carried away and open up everything and won't have shit to open up
in the morning. Okay, see, I was Christmas Eve. I opened all of my gifts at midnight.
Oh,
as a kid,
okay.
Yeah, all of mine.
Damn, you was a fiend.
That's how we did it. 12 o'clock.
You said it's Christmas.
And I carried that tradition over to my kids. How about you, Red? When did you give midnight or next day?
Yeah, unfortunately, we had to wait till the next day. My mom was a torturer, so she used to make us do a whole bunch of different stuff.
Just to get it? Oh,
just
damn.
to open it. It was one year that she had us open one gift per hour. Like,
oh, wow.
Why you did that to us,
Christmas
Mom?
On a time.
You wanted to stretch them out.
Right? Nah, that's evil.
Shit, I guess I was spoiled. I thought everybody opened their stuff on Christmas Eve.
You know what? Maybe that would have been better for me because I couldn't sleep for nothing Christmas Eve.
Yeah, because you would be too. I used to be hyped for class trips in Catholic school. I couldn't sleep because I wanted to wear a fit. So Christmas, boy, I would be shaking in the bed like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So off of that though, we're gonna get into something a little more serious. So one of the main things going on in the news this week was Andrew Tate was arrested in Romania for human trafficking. And I don't know if you guys know, he's kind of a controversial figure. He's been in the news for a lot of misogynist comments. They say he is preaching hate speech and teaching young boys to disrespect women. And, you know, he's causing a rhetoric that could cause problems. And he got so popular that what he was saying actually got him deplatformed. Like, they removed his Instagram, his Facebook, his Twitter. They basically trying to get him up out of here. Mm-hmm. And then based off the heels of that, he ended up getting arrested. So I want to know how you guys feel about, one, do you think this is a straight setup because they want to get him up out of here? And two, how do you feel about him and what he has to say?
You want to take this, Red? You want me to go?
Nah, you could go first.
First off, free Top G, you heard? Free him. Now, I mean, I don't know about all these allegations. Allegedly, he's arrested for human trafficking. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't support it. So if he's guilty, then he's guilty. But you're innocent until proven guilty. So I'm going to say free Top G. And, they try to portray this man as if he's some type of bad guy. But we just...
Yo, Cash, just one question. in Romania, are you innocent or proven guilty? Like, is it one of them?
Oh, I wouldn't know. That's
Oh.
a great question.
I'm gonna be honest. If it was
That's a great
innocent or
question.
proven guilty, like why are you locking folks up? Then prove.
I'm
that
just
I did
asking
it.
because I don't know. Them laws in them third world countries be different.
You're absolutely right.
But you could finish your point. I was just curious if you knew.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I mean, like,
Broad is
the
crazy.
media
Yeah.
is trying to paint him out as a guy, as a bad guy, but I've watched his videos and he doesn't really say anything offensive. Like he just a strong believer in his ideas, and I feel like as a man, if you believe in something, you're supposed to stand up for it, and that's what he do. So, free Top G.
Go ahead, Red. As a female, how do you feel about some of his comments?
So, hearing some of the stuff he said, it comes off very abrasive.
Mm-hmm.
But I could understand a lot of what he's saying. It's just the delivery, his messages is just terrible. No, I don't condone disrespecting women and, all the allegations supposedly that's against him. But if you definitely like holding people hostage and like rape, like by all means, you should be locked up for that. But if he didn't do it and it's just like, they're just trying to get him out of here, because it's like a hoax or something, like they just trying to get him, then nah, that's
But check this though. We seen multiple videos of him explaining how women need to be protected, that you have to provide for them. So it's like,
I know. I
see
don't
a
want to
person that's
say this. Like, I hate to be conspiracy theory person because I'm like that's like a easy out. But when I Google him, what you see versus when you watch it, because I got to give Cash his credit. The first thing he said was, I don't believe it. And I'm like, oh, here he go. But then when we watched the videos and I heard him explain what he was saying, like, yeah, I might not agree with everything he said, but it wasn't as disgusting as just reading someone says women are property and they shouldn't be able to go out sounds disgusting.
Right.
But then when I hear him try to explain it, even if I don't agree with him necessarily that they're property, it didn't sound like that's what he was trying to say.
Exactly.
So if he didn't mean it like that, whether you agree or not, I don't think it should be that, like canceling him without even actually hearing what he has to say.
Bro, we watched the interview. Pierce, I forgot his last
Piers
name.
Morgan.
Piers Morgan. We watched him dance around points. He's just tried to make him admit to something that he wasn't trying to admit
That's
to.
the dude that kept cutting him off.
Yeah, that we
Yeah.
was watching before to try to like kind of update it.
Yeah, he was making that conversation.
He's like, so
intense.
women are property,
Yeah.
right? So you believe women are property, right?
He tried to double, triple, quadruple down on him.
Yeah, but we in court.
Yeah.
Sound like you crossing
Nah,
the
I noticed it. Like I said, when someone's right, they right. And like I said, before we watched it, Cash definitely said that because I pulled it up on Google. And what I read to them what we read on Google before we did this topic and what we watched was vastly different.
Exactly.
Vastly different. So the things that he said, well, what they accused him of saying, do either of you think it would be serious enough for them to try to set him up on these charges, like just to try to get him up out of here?
Yeah, I mean, sexual trafficking, that's a serious allegation right there.
Yeah, it is.
So I think they would try to get him up out of here if he's really doing that. Feel me? Especially only in these, because he got fame now. So you telling me you famous and you sexual trafficking? Come on, bro.
That
They
microscope on
yeah,
you.
they coming after you. But who's to say, man? I don't know, man. He doesn't give that off to me as if that he's into that. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We're gonna have to see how it plays out.
And not to be offensive, but a lot of what he talk is pimp shit. I know it sounds offensive to hear, and like people might not want to hear it, but that's a lot of what he say. He talks
Glad
about
you pointed that out.
getting women to fall in love with him and then using them to earn him money on camera. You know what I'm saying? And people are offended by hearing the physical violence, but I hate to burst people's bubble, but that's pimp shit. That's what they do. Don't mean it's okay.
It's a new
but
form of pimping.
that's what they do. But because he's big now and it's in people's face, it's like, oh, this is gross. Yeah, it's been gross. This has been happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they making an example out of him, but he's not reinventing no wheel.
But it's alleged. It wasn't proven yet. So it's just allegations against him. Once if they do a trial and whatnot, then I guess we'll find out whether they charge him or not. But until then, he's innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of people that, you know, this has happened to where they try to say it's a conspiracy and they get them up out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, let's say hypothetically speaking, he is pimping, and he does set up OnlyFans for women, and they making money for him or whatever. What's the difference between what he doing and what Sauce Walker doing? Sauce Walker clearly said it on his last post. He said, "I don't sell drugs. I don't sell women. I sell women pictures." So what's the difference?
So in Andrew Tate's case, they're specifically claiming rape. Like one of them said like he raped one of the females, which is a big difference because in Sauce Walker's case, the chicks are with it, I would assume. And they're claiming physical violence. They in the report, one of them said like he also, they claiming kidnapping, coercion. Like they're throwing a lot of different words into it. Whereas like if the women just did what this was and it was okay, he would be fine. But because of what they're claiming, that, you know.
Do you know how many women it is?
So I believe I saw 6, but I'm not 100% sure. And that we watched right before we did this, that Vice report where one of the women was talking undercover. I believe that's what she said as well.
I mean, shit.
So 6 ain't 30, you know, it's not a lot, but it's not a little, but you know, that's enough. It could be a conspiracy against him.
And he got 6 women to say that he wasn't doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So
You know what I'm saying?
who knows? But also, who knows Romania's justice system? Because that's important. We know our justice system is the justice system in general is trash. So I could only imagine
Our
what it's like
justice
there.
system, when you got money talk.
Yeah, it helps if you got bread.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, though.
You color your skin.
Yes, that and who you scam, like all types of stuff. But
Yeah.
But in them third world countries, on locked up abroad, it don't be looking good. So I don't know how things is gonna work out for him. I guess more will come out, but hopefully this is not a scam, because if it is, they're gonna make him more powerful. Because they've been trying to cancel him and they deplatform him, and he still was kind of buzzing because other people promote him.
buzzing.
But if he gets out and this is proven to be a hoax, oh man, he's gonna come out on 1,000. Like you thought he was on his shit before.
For real. Man, free Top G, man. I hope it ain't true. But if it is true, it's fuck you. But
Yeah, exactly. Because we definitely don't condone that. And that's
Not at all.
exactly, that's a perfect rollover into, if you had a friend that was abusive, okay, would you be able to still be friends with them? Would you be able to condone that? And when I say condone, not like you're okay, like, that's cool, like that's what's up, but just like turn the other cheek, like that's not cool, but it is what it is. That's still my homie.
listen, bro. Do not beat your bitch in front of me, please.
Lady.
Do not beat your lady friend in front of me, please. Because you're going to make me feel away. Now you put me in an awkward situation. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit there and watch you beat on a female. I don't condone beating on females. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to do it in front of me. Now, if you're doing it on your side and I don't know about it, then how could I judge you? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Just, I don't want to sound harsh, but if I'm not seeing it, then I don't know about it. That don't mean I agree with it, but I don't know about it. If I don't know about it, how could I agree or disagree?
Yeah, I got you. So, Red, from a female perspective, if you had a friend that was in an abusive relationship and she ain't trying to listen, because I'm assuming, first of all, I would say advice would be for her to get out of it, right?
Of course, especially if there's kids involved, you need to leave.
So if she don't listen, would you still be comfortable hanging out with her, going over there?
Not at all. If you're getting beat on, best believe I'm not hanging out with you. I'm not going to your crib. If we do hang out, we in public places, probably shopping, and I'm limited to that. But I can't be friends with a female that's, getting abused.
All right, so I don't want to sound like a chauvinist, and I don't believe in beating women, okay? But every now and then, females need a good shaking. Okay? Like,
Uh-oh. He's opening up the Pandora's box.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Every now and then, you gotta grab them by each of their shoulders
Hey, man.
and let them know.
I'm not about the Max Kellerman myself, where he admitted to putting his hands on a woman and got suspended.
Yeah,
by
I'm about to say,
ESPN.
whoa.
I'm not about.
I'm
to
not
admit
saying
to
I
that.
necessarily have done
By
this.
the way, we don't condone
Yeah,
violence
because
at
we
all,
do not
any
condone
form.
violence. And I'm not saying I have ever done this. However,
Man.
I'm just saying every now and then, sometimes your significant other needs a little shaking. That's all.
And I'll say this: I'm gonna teach my daughter: do not put your hands on somebody and expect them to not put their hands back on you. So
That's definitely
between the
agreed.
lines.
But with that being said, though, but on a serious note, like, yeah, I can't rock with somebody who does that. Like, in the younger days, like, I might have seen it and whatever, and it's like you try to stop it and it's whatever, but that's not something as you get older you could co-sign or be around. And like you was saying, Hash, God forbid you get caught up and you there and don't do nothing and you get in some shit. That's a crazy situation.
Yeah.
And then by being there and not doing nothing about it, it's kind of like a cosign, right?
It's like a cosign. Exactly. It is.
By not even,
This is a reminder. I'm about to have story time, like my man Ron.
yeah, right? Shout out to him. Too bad I don't have to drop.
I remember I used to deal. It was this girl I used to deal with. I'm not gonna say her name, but she was in a abusive relationship, like crazy. I used to be like, "Yo, why you staying?" Like, nigga whipping her ass, like busted lips. You know what I mean? All kinds. And then she's like sticking around. So mind you, I didn't know the extent to it until one time I was trying to link her, and she was like fronting like, "Oh, I can't see you." And then she was like, "All right, come to my job." Bro, I went to her job. She had the makeup over her, like, over the... I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, why you dealing with this? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, me, all I was trying to do was hit. I wasn't really saving her, nothing like that. Still got the neck in the parking lot. And then she would, with the black eye.
This story is terrible.
Going off the train tracks.
But I felt bad though. You know what I mean? I showed empathy for her, even though I was only there for one thing. But I got a heart at the end of the day. I don't. Yeah.
You gave her empathy?
Yeah.
In your lap? In your lap?
I told her. I said, listen. I tried to give her advice. I told her what you would tell your friend. Yo, you need to leave that relationship. You getting beat up. Leave. You might not make it.
With a little wop on the side.
Yeah, you need to leave that relationship, but finish what you're doing.
Yeah, it was kind of just like that.
That's a teachable moment, ladies and gentlemen.
Terrible.
Yeah, man, but it ain't good, man.
That was a teachable moment. But off of that though, question. So do you think there's a difference between physical and mental abuse? Like, do you think either is worse or it's same shit in your book?
I mean, it's definitely mental abuse. You know what I mean? Because you could be like dating somebody and like constantly like belittling them, telling them they ain't shit, telling them they fat, they ugly.
Which I think is just as bad. So if
Yeah,
you go
it
to your
is.
man crib and he on that type of time with his lady, would that bother you? Would you like laugh inside, or would that make you be like, yo, I'm out?
Nah. See, I feel like that I could kind of handle
More than the fisticuffs.
Yeah, because with him being mentally abusive, I feel like I could step in now and really like, yo, bro, like, what's wrong with you? like you, why you calling her that, man? Yo,
You don't think you could do the same if it's physical?
No, because let's say he's being physical and I try to step in and he try to swing on me. Now we
You
fighting.
got-
You know what I'm
Understood.
saying? Like, on I feel like on the mental abuse, it's a little different because now I could come at him, and then he just gonna be, the intention will be on me now. Now he's saying words to me instead of
And
like
then it
coming
could
at
go
her.
left.
Yeah.
So Red, let me ask you as a lady in the room, because you know, as men, we're predicted to be the abusers, not the abusee. So do you think one is worse than the other, physical to mental abuse?
Mental is definitely bad because you can get in somebody's head and really like mess them up. And it's lasting effects with mental abuse. Physical is like, you got a little bruise, maybe you got fracture, whatever the case is, but
It might heal.
mental lasts damn near a lifetime. You could remember something fucked up that somebody told you years ago, and it will still stay with you. But I think mental is definitely worse.
Definitely worse. So I think it's worse too, but definitely real shit, Cash. It's different hearing that from a female's point of view, because as men, I feel like we go through mental trauma all the time, coming from the time we grow up, especially as black men in the hood. I feel like it's par for the course. So I never really think about how scarring it is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when you when you really think about it, like, yeah, that shit kind of is way worse.
See, the mental abuse towards men, I feel it's so much second nature to me that I don't even think about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? How it becomes second nature.
But it's not just females getting mentally abused. It's females doing mental abuse to men too.
It goes both ways. That's why I said just hearing you say how it fucks you up, I was like, I never even really thought about it. But I think that shows a little bit sometimes how a male brain and female brains could be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Because as a man, I think I'm more the physical, really, right. You know?
Yeah. But you know, there's niggas out there that's paying bills and they females is running around on them and they just at home with the kids. It
happens. That's what she said, the emotional abuse, because it happens. I feel like that's where women get that off more on men. You know what I'm saying? Like the emotional abuse, because I feel like they could be good, you know, with playing with a man's emotion, because it's easy for women to go out, to step out.
As soon as they walk out the door, they getting offered penis.
All the time.
As soon as they walk out the door, they getting offered penis.
Yeah, right?
And you know what'd be crazy? They ain't even brushed their teeth yet. They just bringing their daughter to the bus stop.
Taking the trash out. Would you like some? No, thank you.
It doesn't matter. So, listen, now I'm going to tell a story time. So, that shows how real it is. A couple weeks ago, pre-show, I went out with somebody who I don't got a name. The people on the show know who I went out with, to go grab a bottle. Coming back, I saw the most ratchetest hood rat hoes you could possibly see. I'm talking about they outside in robes, mouchoirs, and slippers, Cash. I kid you not. And they arguing. It's like 6 of them in a circle talking like they probably just finished fighting or robbing somebody. One or the other. I couldn't even tell you. Okay? We walked by and my man stops and said, "What's going on with y'all? I'm trying to go where y'all going."
Damn, what a big ass. What's the mathematics?
I just kept walking several steps.
You said they were wearing bonnets?
Bonnets, robes, flip-flops, slippers, and talking about a fight they just had. Okay? This is the environment. And my man felt the need to try to holler and say, "I'm trying to go where y'all going."
Where they going?
I took 6, 7 steps forward, didn't say nothing. And shockingly, these rats said something disrespectful. I didn't even hear it, didn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? But that just goes to say it doesn't even matter. Like, as gross as they were, somebody somewhere, and in this time, it was a person next to me, was on that type of time to try to holler.
Exactly.
Bro, you would have been disgusted. Let's just put it like that. Okay? This wasn't Deichman's finest. I'll leave that there.
First of all, I'm about to say something very controversial, and I know a lot of females are not gonna like me, but I can't stand when I see another female wearing a bonnet outside. And damn, why would you stop and talk to a female that got bonnets, robe, house slippers? First of all, you should not be leaving your house in no house slippers. That says a lot about you. You have no standards. Right. I'm sorry. When you leave your house, maybe I'm from an era where you got to look your best when you leave your house. That's not your best. You should not be wearing a bonnet outside. Do something with that hair, throw a hat on, but do not wear a bonnet.
Death to the bonnets 2023.
All right, I'm expecting the comment. I'm expecting the hate comments.
Hey, listen, they might bro you, but thank you for keeping it real, because that's not attractive, and that says something about the person that's gonna stop and talk to them group of bitches in that bonnet. That did not make sense.
A thirsty nigga.
Yo,
in the moment. That's who gonna holler.
Next time that man is up here, I'm gonna try to let him defend himself.
You already know what he's about. I don't care about nothing.
Right? He ain't got nothing to look. Next time we'll let him defend himself. We'll get to that. So jumping off of that, I wanted to get into the whole Styles P, Matt Hoffa, and J Hood situation. So for those that don't know, Matt Hoffa has a podcast, a show just like ours, and he had Styles P on, and then after having Styles P on, he had J Hood on, and J Hood said some things that Styles P claims is false. So he put out a video saying that next time that Matt Hoffa needs to vet his information and reach out to them before putting out that interview. So how do y'all feel about that situation?
Man, I feel like something fishy going on, man. Why would Styles P be so upset about that if it wasn't no truth behind what J Hood was saying? That's how I'm looking at it.
Okay.
You feel me?
Well, I got a rebuttal to that, but go ahead.
I mean, J Hood was up there. They asked him about his time with them. He told them. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Styles P, you feel that, oh, he was lying or this or that? I mean, is that a reason to be mad at Matt Hoffa? He's just the interviewer. He just asks, how was your time with D-Block?
Yeah.
Is that a reason to go at him? Nah. You're only going at people and mad about situations because there's truth behind it. If there's no truth behind it, you're not even giving that shit light. Like, you may give it light, you might give it a little light, like, man, everything he was saying was false, but whatever. Shout out to you, J Hood. Do your thing, whatever. You know what I mean? But for him to be so mad and angry and the only member to respond,
Yeah.
something's fishy about that.
Out of all of them. Go ahead, Reg. You had a rebuttal. You go.
So,
before I say what I had to say.
I'm looking at it from this standpoint. Maybe they had a conversation about it off on the side. We don't know. And they could have put the situation to rest. But talking about it might bring back up and you hear something and you're like, wait a minute, that's not adding up. So maybe you're like, you feel inclined to make a comment, but it's like, if I already put this situation to rest, why are we still talking about it? But again, that's on you. If you take it upon yourself to respond to that, you could have just made no response like the other members did too.
So I did hear him make the point about Styles was saying 20 years later, why was he bringing it up? But I do on this kind of agree with Matt Hoffa because he said he reached out to other members and they didn't return his call. But even if he didn't, that's J Hood truth. You know what I mean? And Styles was up there before to give his. And if he don't agree with J Hood said, he could go on his platform or any other platform if he choose and dispute it, or
Thanks.
he could just ignore it. I don't know how it's necessarily on Matt to make sure what he's saying is correct. You know what I'm saying? That was his point, and I'm not sure I totally agree with that. Mm-hmm. So to each of y'all, if we were to have somebody come up here as a guest, do you feel it's on us to personally vet them?
Nah, I don't think it's on us for us to personally vet somebody because I guess they're telling their side, their version, their opinion. So everybody's entitled to their own opinion, whether you agree with it or not.
I think to an extent, because let's say we got somebody coming up here that say they do real estate.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have to make sure the motherfuckers
know what he's even talking about.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But like, so to an extent, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's freedom of speech. We can't stop somebody from saying what comes out of their mouth. You know what I mean? We could disagree. We can agree. But we can't stop somebody from talking. They're going to say what they're going to say.
Yeah, because, you know, I kind of always say, like, shit, we don't know how people are in real life. We don't know what they be about. So when we come on here and make comments, if we have somebody on, we can only vouch for ourselves. We don't know what they saying. But I do agree with Cash in the sense that I feel responsible to at least check what they claiming and find out what they're gonna say before they come on here. Like, I don't think we should be surprised. Like, we shouldn't have someone up here not knowing what they about to talk about, just hoping like it's gonna be lit, and they come up here and say something crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then we in a position where we got to defend it or we arguing it because we didn't even vet what they about to come up on our platform. Because at the end of the day, we kind of responsible for it and say.
I guess when you put it like that, yes, we are responsible. But I mean, if you just ask somebody their personal opinion, like, how was your time?
Because that was just a story. So yeah, like that's like he felt he was old bread. Like there's two sides and then the truth to that type of thing.
And we got to mention that J Hood was respectful at all times. He didn't even put blame on anybody. He didn't say nobody owe him nothing. He really put blame on himself.
Okay, he didn't say nothing crazy because you actually watched it,
I
right?
actually watched it. He didn't even name names, honestly. He didn't name Styles' name until after Styles came back with the...
So let me ask you, in his rebuttal, Styles P specifically said Sheek don't owe you no 60,000. He kept saying Sheek specifically. So did J Hood say he owed him?
So J Hood put out a response video where he rebutted every accusation. Mm-hmm. He went through it. It was like 10, 15 minute video. He went through everything that Styles said. Mm-hmm. He rebutted it. You know what I mean? And he was calm and he was still respectful. I mean, he let them guys. They gave him an opportunity. But the facts is the facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a guy. And like he said, he was like Styles. They were saying that, oh, he's not cut from the cloth, from their cloth or whatever. He was like, that may be true. You know what I mean? But because I'm not a person that's like, I don't have to lie or like to act like I'm somebody that I'm not. Like, you know what I mean? I live in fact. I live in truth. So I'm going to say the truth. You know what I mean? So he was like, like, you know, he came from like a good family. You feel me?
Yeah.
He was like, them guys, you know, they wanted him to be. So that's what that's why he was rapping like that. But at the end of the day, that don't make him less of a man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotcha. So they did too. So let me ask you guys. Well, before, let me not make no assumptions. Everybody in this room believe in freedom of speech, right?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Okay. So what would be your line where it's like, all right, this person want to come up here and talk about this? Like, I'm not comfortable having that debate. Like, I don't even want to have this conversation.
Please do not come up here bashing the J word or the alphabet people, please.
Okay, so for you, that's where you like, you don't want to
because
do that topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not doing that.
How about you, Red?
Definitely political.
Okay.
It's a no-no, and
that gets touchy.
Yeah, I would have to say political.
All right, so for me, when Cash said the J word, I feel along. So I originally said along the lines, anyone that's gonna come in here and be disrespectful, like, you know, black people, I use us specifically, like they're lazy or they're this or they're bums or they don't work. But I guess I would open that up to anyone that's gonna come in here and just be on some stereotypical, like, this people don't do this, like black women, black men, white men, or this, or Italian men, or, you know, like Asian. If you're just gonna come up here and just spit hate, and I know whatever we talking about, like, there's certain things I know where it's like, yeah, this is how I feel, but given different information, my mind could change on this. If I know it's something that's not, my mind is not gonna change on it and it's hateful, I'm not gonna have them on, because what's the point?
Definitely.
Like, the only reason I see having that conversation is clickbaity shit, because it would be probably gonna be an argument. Somebody gonna come in here and say stuff like real nasty, you know what I mean? It's probably gonna get heated if somebody gonna come in here and say certain shit. Do either of you guys think those topics would get you heated, or is just something you wouldn't want to be a part of?
Yeah, those topics would get. I would be definitely angry. You know what I mean, but it's something to debate though. Like, I mean,
so because I know you personally, like, alphabet people don't offend you or whatever. So what about that conversation? It will make you not want to have it
because it's so powerful. Like, if they don't agree with how y'all talking about them, it's like you're canceled.
Because it's too touchy. That's why you wouldn't want to go there.
Yeah, because I won't even have to agree with what the person is saying, but I would still have to suffer the consequences behind it. So I'm good.
It's not
even doing that.
Not worth it. How about you, Red? Like, what? Like, the same question. Like, do you feel it's more of a thing, like, because it would get heated for you, or you just don't want to participate in that?
Well, I mean, a debate is like a challenge between two people, so you can hear another person's side. Maybe it might get you heated, and you could think about it later. It gives you things to think about, but definitely, I think I would get maybe a little emotional, because if it's something that specifically happened to me and we're speaking on it, I might not want to be around when that conversation is being had.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the same thing, like I said, because me, 17 episodes in, me and Cash had plenty of heated debates, you know what I'm saying? But I know where he's coming from. He's not hateful. He's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never heard him, no hate. Like, it's a debate, and that's cool. But if someone is just coming on and it's just like, nah, that person ain't this ain't that, and like, no, that's the way. Like, we can't. There's no even middle ground. Like, what do you say to that? If someone just says like fundamentally like, nah, this whole group of people like, nah, y'all, they ain't shit. What's the debate? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just gonna turn into like an argument if that's how you feel. And I don't think I'm gonna be the one to change your mind.
And like you said, all that would do is be clickbait, view, like quick views, controversy.
It would make a hell of a tile, right? Like a headline in the topic tile.
Yep.
But if you debating with facts, I could understand. But if it's just opinions, like your opinion, like no.
That's why I said I could probably debate somebody that came on here and felt this way about a certain group. I could be like, what? But they did this, or they did that, or we did this, or we did that. So I feel like I could more so have that convo.
Yeah, because that's a fact. If someone pulls up that, like, well, back in this day, this is what happened, and this was the percentage of what. That's different from like they're lazy, or they just don't want to work, or nobody wants to do this, nobody wants to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, actually going off of that, because we got the time, I wanted to shoehorn in the Home Depot co-founder Bernie Marcus says socialism has killed motivation, that nobody wants to work anymore and nobody gives a damn. Like, the excuses are people are too fat, too lazy, too stupid. Personally, when I heard that, first of all, I think that's nuts, because I don't think we a socialist country. I think it's a capitalist country. But
Definitely.
if people don't want to work no more, I think it's more aspect of people are being awoken to being used, and the whole system of churning us and spitting us out and not wanting to work for other people and enrich other people. And the one thing, as much as I hate social media, the good thing about it is it's a lot easier to get this information now. The bullshit, like, it's a lot harder for them to feed us lies now as it was before, because the information is at our fingertips if we want to look it up. And I think that's what it's more of than people just being lazy.
He probably talking about the people that preach what you just said, like, yeah, they don't want to work for nobody no more. They got the knowledge. Okay, you want to be an entrepreneur, but then you ain't even doing that.
And as an owner of Home Depot, what the F do you want people being on some own business stuff? That doesn't help you. You need employees, not.
He sound a little salty. Like, do you need some workers? Is that what it is? You sound a little short staffed. You sound stressed.
Right?
That's what it is. Didn't say that.
All these people talking about they want to own a business, don't even got a LLC, but you don't want to work a 9 to 5. To me, though, listen, man, you gotta have some type of income coming in.
Yeah, of course. Like, listen, it's a fact of life. Almost everybody has to work. Unless you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, at some point in time, everybody has to work.
Yeah.
That might not be their goals, but I don't begrudge nobody for getting out the matrix. Like, that's the dream. Like, bro, get out any way you can.
Exactly.
You know, like, whatever you got to do that gets you out. Like, I don't begrudge nobody. And I feel like it's easy for someone who's in the top 1% to say that people are lazy and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? But people work. You know, America is a working country. The overtime and the type of work and the amount of work we do, people work here. We work and we like nice things. So, like, I don't buy that.
They're saying that because it's one less person for you to scam. It's one less person for you to tax. Let's keep it real. Come on.
Yep.
And it's the crazy part is the person saying it, of all people, like, not saying it's any better, but at least if it's an average Joe who's making like $40,000 a year telling somebody else they don't got work ethic, because you know he's probably getting up every single day working 9 to 5. So even if you don't agree, like, I guess where he's coming from, but like a multi-millionaire or a billionaire saying that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But I mean, he wasn't born a billionaire.
Yeah,
He
of
had to
course
work
not.
At some point.
but what I do find, and I won't say in his specific situation because it's not like I looked it up, a lot of these people, I would say a vast majority of these millionaires and billionaires are not self-made, bro. Like, they got
Born
started,
into it,
they
right?
got, they might not have born millionaires, but they got people like, for instance, a perfect example, Jeff Bezos. When I hear it starts like, oh, like, he founded Amazon from the ground up, that's lit. He had an initial investment of $200,000 from his friends and family. Cash, even if you came up with an amazing idea that could get people rich, do you have a circle of people that you could just casually get 200 racks from to get your shit off the ground?
I doubt I get 20 billion.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. So when you say someone is self-made, like, yeah, you had the idea and all that, but you got to add, that's not really the same as, you know, like somebody starting something from the real mud with no capital, you gotta really figure it out, and they don't never add that in these people's success stories. Like even with Elon Musk, like I found out that he was born into
His pops.
yeah, you know, but they don't tell these parts.
Yeah.
So like, not saying that's his specific situation, but if you dig into it, it wouldn't surprise me, because that'd be the case a lot of times.
Yeah.
So that's definitely easier for him to say than that would be for I would say your average person. So before we get out of here, I just wanted to touch on the update, because before you wasn't here for the last episode, Cash, we had talked about Romeo and Master P. They was beefing, but it looks like they actually made up. I didn't see the actual makeup video that allegedly happened, but I wanted to say shout out to them for making up, because we always talk about the drama, but now when shit goes good. But you had an alternative opinion about their makeup.
Yeah, man. I feel like it was, I don't know, allegedly, maybe. I think it was just for the views for the upcoming, to see the new season that Romeo about to be on. What is it?
I think it's Growing Up Hip Hop, right? Is the name of the show.
You heard? Yeah. And you know, since they black, they wanted to. It was a message behind it. They wanted to show that father and son can make up. You know what I mean? They don't got to be disrespectful. You feel me? They can show that black families are strong. You dig? So shout out to them, man. We got the message.
strong black family.
Father and son. You know, a lot of us didn't grow up with our fathers and son. You know what I mean? Their fathers. So, you know, they showing like, oh, nah.
We could beef and make up.
Yeah, you got to open up. You got to talk. You got to be able to talk. You know
usually they don't
communicate.
That's what they call
word.
It.
Yeah.
We didn't have you on for that topic, Reg. You came on afterwards, but how did you feel about that little friction they was having?
I mean, that's regular parent shit you go through with your kids. I mean, shout out to them for making up, because I made up with my pops, and you know,
it's a good thing. Life is short if you can, right?
Yeah.
So even though, but they had what's, you know, seemed like real drama. So whether it was real or scripted for Growing Up Hip Hop, do any of us in this room watch that bullshit?
Not at all.
Never seen one episode.
and then the same year.
Not.
So this is obviously not an advertisement for Growing Up Hip Hop.
Definitely not.
Next update I wanted to give was, so we spoke heavily about what happened with Megan Tory last week. We didn't get to have Cash on for his opinion, so I want to hear what he has to say. But before we get to what he had to say, I wanted to know from her, because she was here for it, if her opinion changed at all after you heard Tory's conversation from jail on the phone, for one, if you feel any differently about it.
I mean, that voice, everything that was said on the phone, like, why are you apologizing? If you did not do something, you should not be apologizing for it. Like, what was your reasoning for apologizing, unless you actually did something? And I mean, unfortunately, yeah, my opinion did change.
Yeah, so before, I want to hear Cash, because you actually didn't comment last week, so I want to hear a synopsis, how you feel on everything. But before that, I just want to say, I clearly said that, so I can't front. I was on Tory's side. I didn't believe he did it, and I will say, I still do not believe he shot her in the foot and she got shot in the foot. But that conversation was crazy. My nigga, you're bugging. Like, so that was enough for me to be like, because 2 weeks ago I said, there's no way a juror could hear that stuff and say, without a doubt, you think he did it. Even though I still personally don't think he did it, I could hear how you hear that tape, hear someone apologizing and be like, he did it.
It's one thing for you to be found guilty, but then it's like that voice thing that was released, it's just sealing your fate.
Like, and we didn't hear that when we was talking about it, because that came out after the fact that the jury heard that. So, Cash, let me ask you, first of all, did you think he was guilty or innocent?
Man, Tory. Man. I understand why you didn't just cop out, because you knew you was going to get deported. So you was like, man, I got no choice but to fight it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bro. It's sad, because I'm not going to say whether he did it or not, but the evidence that I guess that I was presented to the public,
mm-hmm.
made me feel as if, there's no way they can convict. It's so much reasonable doubt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
Meg lied so many times.
That's what I thought.
I mean, then you got Kelsey. She's under oath and then said that she lied. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Don't
like,
forget she had immunity.
and then she had immunity, and then it's like, if you ain't do nothing, what do you need immunity for?
That's like the number one.
You know what I mean? And then some
Seems
people say,
sus.
oh, he
Yeah.
because he paid the oath and she was gonna get on stand and lie. Nah, man, it's deeper than that. Perjury charge, that's a year. Know what I mean, ain't it's deeper than that. I feel like she had something to do with that shit. Even when the other witness, the stylist or the hairdresser dude, his testimony was crazy. He was like, when they don't got personal security, they got their own, they take it upon themselves to protect themselves. They asked, did you see a gun? He didn't see a gun, but he saw something that might look like a gun. You know what I mean? He said it was in Kelsey's bag. He said he took it from the car, put it into a recall. You know what I'm saying? He said Kelsey ran back to the car, came back. When the bag was, when the police found that bag, it wasn't in the trunk no more. It was in the middle of the car, like in the middle of the car. So it's like, it's so, I don't know. I don't understand how they came with that conviction.
With that
man.
conviction.
Yeah. Even with playing the 80-minute interview, like, still, all right, you played the interview and Shorty got on the stand and said, I lied under oath. It's too much reasonable doubt. You feel me? And then Meg lied mad times, boy.
That's the part you would think it would matter. I wanted to add two things real quick too, and then ask you another question. So one, I had mentioned last week that Tory's father was adamantly talking about what was going on and how they were being screwed, and how someone walked right past them. So apparently, it was a witness for the defense, the guy who testified that he saw from the balcony that he saw Tory fire shots, and what he saw, he was actually a witness for the defense, and that he was meeting with the prosecution, and that when Tory and his pop walked by him in the hall, he didn't even give them eye contact or acknowledge them at all. So it was like, if you were a witness for the defense, why are you meeting with the prosecution? And that was one of the bases. Is he was trying to say Rock Nation is heavily involved in this, and I wanted to ask each of you: do you feel Rock Nation had a hand?
I'm glad
in this?
you brought that up, because absolutely, I was saying that to myself. Like, that's crazy. You're our witness. You go up there, you don't even shake nobody's hand. You don't look nobody in the eye. Why?
That's insane.
And then it's like you word it now. You'd probably change up everything you said. They probably told you what to say to word it as if, like he said,
I don't know what he said before, but what he said on the stand did not help Tory. Like, he did not sound like a witness for the defense.
He said a girl shot. He said he saw the girls fighting, and then that was another thing. Meg said they wasn't fighting. Know what I mean? They had a whole fight. Know what I'm saying?
Did you know that part before, Ray?
The gun went off with the girls, and then he said the short guy got out, and then first he said he was shooting in the air, and then there was like, so he was shooting everywhere, and then like, he was like, he was shooting everywhere. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it changed a lot.
Didn't he say something like two people were jumped on one person?
Then he said it looked like they was about to throw in the river.
So like, I'm not gonna, I heard what he said. Yeah, like, I don't remember word for word what he said at this point, because I ain't gonna lie, I saw like 2-3 weeks ago. But I know when I heard it, I was like, oh, like, that doesn't sound like that's gonna help Tory. Like, I know that part. Like, I heard it and was like, that didn't really clear him. And then what also changed my mind a little bit is, as far as like everything that happened, we weren't there. I just stood on, I don't think Tory Lanez shot her in the foot. That's where I stood. But the charges that they charged him for was, one of them was possessing a weapon, which it seems like that kind of can't be denied at this point, because enough people have said he had the weapon.
But
whether he fired it in the air, he didn't
bring it.
So
was it his bodyguard?
But was there anyone else for them to put it on?
Nah, it was short. It was Kelsey's hammer.
Okay.
Allegedly. That's how I think. I think it was Kelsey hammer.
Okay. If y'all watched last episode, I definitely said Rock Nation is controlling the narrative. That's all.
Yeah, and I agreed, and I said that too. I go for that too. But this is one thing that this has nothing to do with Rock Nation. Okay, one of his charges was assault. Okay, and in California, pointing a weapon at someone is considered assault.
Okay,
that's all it takes. And by that definition, if that's the definition of assault, I mean, he committed assault. Because one thing, everyone's story kind of lined up. At some point, it seemed like he pointed a hammer, whether it was in the air or at her. In California, that's assault. So I feel like there's really no arguing that. Maybe you could argue that it's a stupid law, but if that's what they're trying to get him on, that I was like, all right, I could understand that. Them hitting him with that charge.
Well, it's one thing if you pointing a weapon at somebody. It's another thing if you just pulling it out. That's brandishing a weapon.
But out in Cal, that's all it takes, though. When you point it at someone, period. That's a charge. That's an assault charge.
That whole night is just, we don't know
assault
what
and
happened.
bodily harm.
Yeah, that's too much drinking gone wrong.
Night, I'm thinking like, yo, they got into the argument in the car. Then all of a sudden, Megan and Kelsey started beefing. They hopped out the car. They started getting it on. Kelsey ran to the car. Or Tory and these niggas tried to hop out, help. You know what I mean? Break the shit up. Kelsey ran to the car. And that's probably when some was like, oh, it looked like they was beating her up. But all they was probably doing was probably trying to restrain her. You know how adrenaline is. Megan's huge. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I'm just saying, I still don't think he shot her in the foot.
I think Shorty came with the grip. Niggas saw her with the grip like, yo, what the fuck is you doing? She bust off probably. Dog, they ran down, grabbed the grip. You know what I mean? Had to wrestle it from her, took the hammer. He probably did the dumb shit with let the rest of the bullets
to try to break it up. That's what I thought. You know but even that, like,
that's dumb though.
Yeah, because that's an unregistered weapon and you can't have it, so that's a charge. Exactly. Like just that. Like California, New York, like we ain't from Cali, but we from New York and we could speak on New York gun laws. Yeah. And all of us know in New York, you're going down. And Cali gun laws is pretty similar to ours. So just off of that, that's the part I'm like, all right, I guess I get it. They convicted him of that stuff. So that's why I was like, I guess I got to change what I was saying. But I still don't believe he shot her in the foot.
I think maybe negligence with the grip. But
yeah, and the assault. Like I said, I just stand by, I don't believe he shot her in the foot. Yeah. Like what I think happened, like you were saying, is that he was dealing with both of them. They found out in that moment they was drinking alcohol and it got heated. Mm-hmm. And one thing led to another and she shot at her friend. That sounds like a typical hood story. Yeah. Like, actually, that sounds like a typical hood story, except they famous and they did it by Kylie Jenner's house. That's where they fucked up. Yeah. You don't bring that nigga behavior in that type of neighborhood. Yeah, that's where they messed up.
And Tory, man, damn, bro. He about to get the max. What?
And then they deport him as soon as he's done with that. But he's out here.
Deportation is... Man, that's not.
He probably want to be here, man.
He want to be here. He got to do 22 years first.
You think so? Let me ask each of y'all. You think the judge giving him the max?
22 years or just get deported? Yeah,
you think the max?
Yeah, I think he's gonna get the max.
How many years, Chris? You think he's facing a maximum of 22?
Probably like 15, not 22.
You got to remember, bro.
I'm gonna say 5.
Had a whole the DA. They had a written statement ready to go. Talking about black women and protecting them and Megan's so strong for stepping. Bro, this is a whole agenda right here, man. They want to make it seem like they protecting black women, but now it's at the expense of a black man. You know what I mean? Because if that man is innocent, they just railroaded a black man to big up a black woman, bro. It's like, it's still fucked up.
So before we get out here, I want to ask though, because we all agreed that Rock Nation had something to play with this.
Tory said after it happened, he got a call from Rock Nation saying, "Yo, don't make no statements, don't say nothing."
I know, I heard that part too. So let me ask y'all, hearing that and knowing what Rock Nation is supposed to stand for and what they are, does that make either of you look at them any differently? Rock Nation or Hove, who's supposed to be in charge of Rock, any differently at all, or nah?
I mean, I look at them as if just like these corporations, like you know how they do, like that's what they do. If that's their investment, bro, they going all out for their investment. And like a lot of people was making points that Roc Nation don't have artists, like people signed, they did good with management.
Yo, Gas, so let me tell you something. I agree with you, but you realize that's kind of controversial. I know you think it's a regular statement. I absolutely agree with you, but that's, like, that's not how they looked at. That's whole shit, that's champion, and that's supposed to be, like, for us to help us up. So, like.
I mean, why not? They got a rat.
No, but I agree with you. You're saying the truth, but most people don't look at it like that.
Them like there's something fishy going on over there.
I hope people start to. How about you, Red? You think it's Philly at all?
Working over there.
That's probably one of many. There's probably a lot of companies out there that do the same thing. This one is just more out in the public. So
because of this,
y'all heard about that class action lawsuit that damn man, the group. Oh man, son, I forgot the name of the group, man. But anyway, long story short, it's a group that's suing Universal off of money, royalties from Spotify.
Yeah, it's typical music
you know
business. They always screwing each other over.
$750 million. They saying that they owe them because it was something that they had in their contract when Universal made the deal with Spotify. They were supposed to get paid, and they cut the artists out. None of the artists got their bread.
What they were supposed to. Yeah, the music game is definitely a dirty business. So I'm trying to say,
it's like this is what these corporations do.
Yeah, like
and even the lawyer,
the person
Shapiro,
with the bigger money usually wins.
The lawyer that was on the defense. No, not the defense, on the prosecution. Megan's lawyer. He's like he got a relationship with Roc Nation. Like it go back. Like it's something going on. You know what I'm saying?
And to throw in, like, before we wrap this shit up, they were saying that Tory had a terrible lawyer because he did something that allowed the prosecution to bring in Meg's friend's original tape. Because at first, when she, pled the fifth and said she didn't see all of that was it. But something that he brought up allowed them to bring in that tape that she gave in September, that tape statement saying, completely contradicting what she said on the stand, which obviously fucked them over. And it's like, you got a good lawyer, you paying all this money, you would think they know better than that, than to introduce some evidence that's gonna fuck you. Like what kind of shit is that?
Exactly.
And I would assume he spent a lot of money.
Let's say he probably spent $250,000. And lawyer fucked him.
Yeah, like that's, so hopefully they don't make an example out of him, but they probably
called Saul.
yeah, right. Saul Goodman.
I'm hoping that's what he needed. I'm hoping he come home on an appeal though. Like I'm hoping.
Yeah, because he gonna do that.
You know what I mean? I'm really do because I like Tory Lanez, man. His music, as far as music, I don't know him personally, but like his music, man.
Yeah, I ain't even listen to him like that. I just don't like to see no one railroad. I hate our justice system. I just hate how it's two different systems. It's one for some people and it's another for some people. Yeah, and don't get twisted. It's not like black women is out here getting all the perks and stuff like that, because they definitely do not.
Right.
Like they usually get railroaded. But I hate how, first of all, this shit pitted men against women, because it really did. I seen a lot of strong, like takes on one side, like men just being like, I don't believe it, and women being like, well, if you don't believe it, you don't believe black women. And it was just a division for no fucking reason over like some BS, because at the end of the day, the system just favors who has more money. At the end of the day, I feel like the bigger artist won. Like that's all. Whoever had the most money won.
Whoever was the biggest investor. Tory was independent.
Yeah, exactly.
Tory was independent, man. He beat the system. He just put out that album, the NFT, made like $1 million in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like he was doing stuff they didn't like, man. It is what it is, man. It's sad.
So I just wanted to definitely update that after that extra little bit of information came out. Like that changed a little bit, but that jail call definitely didn't help his cause. But these gun laws, we got to figure them out, how different they are from state to state and how much they affect us. Like they got to figure this shit out. Either they're gonna be legal or they not, because you could get jammed up from every different place you go and all these different licenses and permits and like what the fuck, man.
And free slime too, man.
Like they just making
Free
that
Thug, man.
that shit
Whole
extra
YSL snitching.
That was a whole nother one we didn't get to touch last time. But listen, y'all, we about to get out of here. So that was all the topics we had today. So I want to give a shout out to Red. Thanks for joining us, coming through, helping us out again. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
No doubt. And Cash, you want to get us out of here, give your tags, and Red could do the same?
Yeah, man. Follow me on Instagram at hand-to-hand-man _. You know, holla at me. You know, I might have some pics for you. You know, make a little couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me. Follow me, man. Some good content coming too. Make it make sense. You dig?
Don't get on your Andrew Tate shit, all right? Right?
All right, my handle is at Rocky _Red_. Follow me, but don't follow me.
Exactly. Don't be thirsty,
Damn, what
y'all.
a big word.
And y'all can follow me at $mims. And the email is makeitmakesense22@gmail.com. Sense is CENTS. I want you guys to send us your comments, opinions, questions. We're going to answer them. And I also want you guys to call in. I have the voicemail number. I'm going to leave it underneath the post for the episode, but I'm going to actually put it out on like Instagram and stuff because I want you guys to call in. I know I said I wanted to do it, and I put it on the Spotify post. And I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even really check to see, but I'm gonna really promote it and really start actually checking to see if we got the voicemails, because I do want to hear from people and get more opinions. All right, so that's it for us today. We're gonna hear from, y'all gonna hear from us in about 2 weeks or so. It's Make It Make Sense. It's your boy Dollars here with Cash and Red, and y'all already know what it is.
Know that.
Your team can affect my cream. Gold and platinum plaque since I stepped on the scene. Now I mean, peep the scene. Jacuzzi full of women. She hitting me and him. Much love like Wimbledon. My nigga screaming killer. I'm overseas in my villa. But mama suits nothing iller. Twain switched the plan. Cop the Lexus land. Sea gutter. Rockefeller phone hundreds and better. Little C's push speeds with 5 in his eyes. Knock gon' cry by Mary Blige. I die for my niggas back in steel. Chicken heads with sex appeal. Reveal sexual acts up in Capone's act. The chocolate dime, watch the mafia shine. Girls get your own, can't touch a dime of mine.
And if you don't stop, then we won't stop. Continuous leader. You can be as good as the best of them, but as bad as the worst. So don't test me. You better move over. You can be as good as the best of them, but as bad as the worst. So don't test me. You better move over.
Big Mama, keys in Tijuana. Some call me Donna, Karen or Amani. Gas for the Panani. For brown nose pussy crushers. Cat killing lovers, ignorant motherfuckers. Drive a Benz on Miata. This honey's got her. Sweet pinata. 6 shots her. Little Kim the Black, Erica Kane, and who remains in Chanel frames and animals of all kinds. Russian Fendi sables with matching pool tapes. Read the label.
Mafia.
Admiring my shoes by Gucci. I be eating sushi, playing with my coochie. Counting Lucci. Nigga, I got banks to rob. Convertible sobs, I'm married to the mob.
And if you don't stop, then we won't stop. Continuously to get you can be as good as the best of them, but as bad as the worst. So don't test me. You better move over. You can be as good as the best of them, but as bad as the worst. So don't test me. You better move over. Frank White, the desperado, used to rock the all-black Movado, the all-black Eldorado, all that and a bottle of Dom P. Niggas can't harm me, I keep the on me. Is Brooklyn in the house? Without a doubt, I'm the rapper with clout, everybody yap about. Check it out, guns I bust 'em, problems with my wife, don't discuss 'em. Coops and Learjets, I lust them, fingerprints, I dust them. Recent address, stuck you for your stash in your pissy mattress. Your mom's the actress, didn't wanna show me the safe. It's okay, she was old anyway. I display Hot 97 round ready. Cop Mac 11 line steady. Like Tevin Campbell, I'm ready to do what I do continuously. You can be as good as the best of them, but as bad as the worst. So don't test me. You better move over. You can be as good as the best of them, but as bad as the worst. So don't test me. You better move over. 96 catalog, Caesar Lee Rio de Janeiro. Big Mama Queen B, mafioso, notorious, well known Frank White.